All these girls excited. Ooh, you know they like it. I'm so icy. So icy. Girl, don't try to fight it. That's how Trae Young is right now in Atlanta Hawks. Welcome to the Ember Show. Your host, Ember. Wow, what a game one. Let's just hop right into it. The Atlanta Hawks snatch game one of the Eastern Conference Finals. What a game, though. And, shout out to the Milwaukee Bucks for, they played great in the beginning. And it's just, I feel their frustration, because they got the pieces, and you look at Atlanta Hawks, stats. I mean, not the stats, but you look at the names and you're like, what's Milwaukee Bucks should be, definitely taking game one. But you know what? Shout out to Trae Young. That's why I played Icy, because that man has ice in his veins for sure. 48 points. 48. And Trae Young win an NBA Finals. He will win more finals than LeBron James. I just see it. I see it. I see it. I see it. But we got a really good matchup tonight. But the Los Angeles Clippers need to take care of business at home, because obviously Phoenix Suns up 2-0 and they're looking like the team that's going to win it all, to be completely honest with you. And without even having Chris Paul, they really snuck by game two. The Clippers should have won that game. But what are the Clippers going to do tonight? What's Paul George going to do? What's he going to do? He's gonna have to do something. I don't know if Leonard's coming back or not, but we'll see. I don't think he is. But back to the game last night. My goodness, Trae Young, and I saw this video on Instagram where they're chanting a clip of Trae Young. He's on the free throw line, and they're chanting overrated. And then there's obviously in the last series with New York, F Trae Young, and you just see him smiling, and you just see all the angry people at someone successful, being successful. I understand that it's you're diehard fans, and you love the game and you want your team to win. But why curse at a man that's beating you? I don't know. I mean, maybe that's just me, but I mean, that's why he did the bow, because truthfully, it should be the complete opposite. You should just take your hats off and just stay in awe or clap for that man, because that man has come a long way, and I got a lot of respect for the kid, man. He's doing some amazing things with the Atlanta Hawks this season. Amazing. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But like I said, shout out to the Milwaukee Bucks. They came and played. They only lost by 3, and the one person too, though. I'll get back to that, but Giannis had 34 points and 12 rebounds. Double-double. Drew Holiday did a lot of damage. 33 points and 10 assists, so he had a double-double. But Middleton, he had 15, so, I mean, he contributed, but he could have done a lot more. He's an all-star. But I look at this matchup, and, I did say yesterday that I believe it's going to be Milwaukee Bucks versus the Phoenix Suns. And I'm still sticking with that, obviously. I mean, I'm not the type that always likes to change it. But what I did mention, if the Milwaukee Bucks let Atlanta Hawks beat them and go to the finals and Atlanta Hawks wins, I think something special is going to happen. And, I know there's a lot of different talent spread across the league. I completely understand. But this kid has so much confidence right now. And the way John Collins played, too, with 23 points and 15 rebounds. That's the one player I was, saying last night. I'm like, all right, John Collins, I got to remember that guy. I remember that name because he was balling. I mean, straight balling. But I'm just looking at it now, too, with Trae Young. I mean, just 48 points, 11 assists. What I was doing last night, I was watching the game, and I was comparing a little bit, right? I was like, who does Trae Young remind me of? And it reminds me of Steph Curry. But what I also mentioned was maybe a better passer than Steph Curry. I'm not saying that Steph Curry is a horrible passer, because no, he's really good. But this guy, I don't know, it's a little bit more advanced, I think. And he's a little quicker with the pass. But Trae Young reminds me a lot of Steph Curry. So, I'm excited for the kid, to be honest. This is exciting basketball. This whole NBA playoffs, especially compared to last year with the bubble. It was completely different. It was just isolated, just one solitary place everyone played. So, it's back in the stadiums. There's fans in the crowd. It just makes it more relaxing. And it's more, you can respect the game a lot more when you have the fans in there and they're passionate and they're rude. I mean, you could hear the noise, how loud those stadiums are just by watching it. You turn up the volume a little bit, because then they turn up the volume for the crowd. Oh my goodness. I've been to a Magic game too where it got loud. Not a lot of games. It's because we're on the rebuild, but that's on a whole nother podcast. But predictions. Tonight, the Phoenix Suns at Los Angeles Clippers. A part of me wants to say that the Los Angeles Clippers is going to get it done tonight and bounce back and take care of business at home. But if Devin Booker puts up 45 and the other players contribute, I think it's going to be 3-0. They already have that taste in their mouths about sweeping a team, So, and that was a great Denver team that they swept. That's what blew my mind. That's what got this team really, excuse me, it's got me thinking that they're going to get it done. They're going to win the championship, and they're going to do it for Chris Paul. And not only just for Chris Paul, Devin Booker is such a young talent, and he's not even close to his peak yet. Like the same with Trae Young. So truthfully, I would love to see a Phoenix Suns, and I'm going to say this now, but I mean, this is what I want to see, but I know I've already made my predictions on what I think the NBA Finals will be. But Phoenix Suns versus the Atlanta Hawks, I wouldn't mind seeing that. I don't know about you, the listener, but put it in the comments what you think. Phoenix Suns versus Atlanta Hawks. A Devin Booker versus Trae Young. Well, obviously Chris Paul would have to guard him most of the time, but imagine that. That'd be a good finals, because it's two teams that obviously Atlanta Hawks has won. The Hawks have won one championship, but the Phoenix Suns have not won any. So it's still, I still think it's Phoenix Suns and the Milwaukee Bucks. But it's going to be a long series for both, I think, because I think they're going to put it all out there on the court and give us fans something that we've missed, and that's the competition. I mean, like I said, we've had so many Game 7s. Just the competition level and everything is just so refreshing. Like the last year's playoff, it just didn't feel right. I loved that it was in my hometown, Orlando, though. That was pretty cool. Like, all the players were here, right where I was born. So that was pretty neat, watching the games, and they're like, oh, they're in Orlando. But seeing, like, the fans on their webcams on the big screen was just really, really weird. I was like, this is like the 2040 kind of life, like when it's just going to be like, all right, well, I can't make the game, but I can watch it. I'm there. You know what I'm saying? But either way, I mean, shout out to the NBA. They made it happen, and the Los Angeles Lakers were able to get the championship for Kobe, and that's all we can ask for as fans. At least they, and rest in peace, Kobe. It's Gigi, and everybody else that was in that helicopter. That's such a sad story, and it made me cry. It really did. It made me tear up, and tears started flowing, and it's hard to talk about it, but sometimes we have to talk about certain things to get through these things. And that's what I'm going to talk a little bit about while I end this. It's been a really tough time for me and my family, losing my father to cancer and not being able to see my son, and just staying at home a lot more. I'm an active kind of spirit, so it's hard to adapt. It's been hard to adapt to this because I'm always on the go kind of guy. But at the same time, it's also made me have time to reflect on what really matters, and it's family. And we have to look out for each other, and we have to lift each other up, not just in our conversations, but spiritually and mentally. And we also, that's what I love about my other portion of this podcast, is my faith portion. And I'm actually about to do one right after this. And I do these podcasts for basically me. It's my counseling. I love to do it. I used to put effects and different things in. I did the So Icy for contribute to Trey Young, man. That was a good game. Anyway, I love talking sports. I love talking about Jesus and the Bible. I also just love talking about certain events and things that have happened in my life that I've overcome, so I can help the next person, especially single fathers that are trying to fight to see their kids. Especially in the state of Florida, these different other states, it's very hard for us men to get the respect we deserve and the recognition and time with our children, and that needs to change. And I believe I am a part of it. I'm not necessarily the movement, but the Father's Right movement has already been doing a lot of things. But we need to do more for the less fortunate financially single fathers, and I believe that's why I'm here too. I'm the messenger, and I love to talk sports and faith and everything. When it comes down to my purpose, like I made yesterday, the episode was really good, and I'm excited for the next one. Thank you for joining, and enjoy the NBA playoffs. I think the Clippers will not even it up, but they will win tonight. And the Milwaukee Bucks will bounce back and win Game 2. We'll be back shortly. This is The Ember Show, your host, Ember. Everyone have a blessed day.